The lights are going on any second now, and away they go. And Arnoux leads away. Torbay is going to come up alongside him as they go into Copse. The two Renaults are together. Round Copse Corner they go. The first five virtually as one. Into Woodcote, lap one. Ferrari leads, Torbay. Ferrari second, Arnoux. Then it is Alain Prost third, Patrese fourth, Shiva fifth. Elio De Angelis is in sixth position and has therefore passed Nelson Piquet. And De Angelis stopping. De Angelis flaming his turbos. That's tragic luck. Nigel Mansell, who qualified in the previous car, is now in the new one and has come up in only one lap from 16th to 12th place. Here is Torbay coming into the chicane, followed by Arnoux and Prost, and the gap between Torbay, the leader, and Arnoux is 0.83 seconds, and we're still waiting. There goes Derek Warwick, and Nigel Mansell is now right in the wheel tracks of Derek Warwick, who is in 9th position. So Nigel Mansell in car number 12, the new JPS Renault, is starting to carve his way through the field. He has come up from 16th position to where he is now.
Yes, well, that's terrific news for Lotus and for Nigel. There is Nigel Mansell at the back of that bunch in the black JPS Lotus, and this should help to offset the great disappointment they must be feeling over De Angelis' performance, but it's terrific news for Nigel. He's had a really very troubled practice. Every little thing has gone wrong.
And now there is Warwick and Mansell absolutely together. 8 and 9 coming down to Copse Corner. Look for the distinctive blue car of Derek Warwick, who was up to second place at Brands Hatch in the British Grand Prix last year. And as they go into the chicane, Patrick Torbay leading. Alain Prost has caught him. They're catching up now with Danny Sullivan in the Benetton Tyrrell. In third position, it is René Arnoux. In fourth place, it is Nelson Piquet. Fifth is Andrea De Cesaris. In sixth position, it is Winkelhock. Seventh now is Nigel Mansell, who has gone ahead of the new eighth place man, Derek Warwick.
Good.
And Nelson Piquet is through and past, and Prost takes the lead on lap 20. Alain Prost takes the lead from Patrick Torbay in the Ferrari, and Nelson Piquet takes third position from René Arnoux. And into the pits now comes René Arnoux in the Ferrari in fourth place, and this is lap 33. Let us see how the well-drilled Ferrari team in their immaculate uniforms and helmets deal with it. In goes the hose. Off come the wheels already with 5 seconds gone. A really good pit stop can be done in 12 seconds, and by now René Arnoux will have lost fourth place to Andrea De Cesaris. He goes out in 15.45 seconds. Andrea De Cesaris will have moved up into fourth position. Niki Lauda, number 8, double world champion, and he is now in sixth position. And as I talk to you, Nigel Mansell is up into fifth position. So there is Niki Lauda.
And Alain Prost is now coming into the pits. So Prost is there, is Prost, and Torbay is also coming to the pits. So they're all coming in at once. And Renault going very, very good stop by the Renault team, 14 seconds.
There goes Nigel Mansell, who is now up into fourth position, believe it or not, thanks to all the pit stops. Nigel Mansell in fourth place. A brilliant performance in the brand new first race John Player Special Lotus with its Renault V6 turbocharged engine, and Nigel Mansell now getting his revenge for all the bitter disappointments that he has suffered during 1983 and 1982 for that matter, showing that, as we all knew, he is a really superb Grand Prix driver. The highest place that Nigel Mansell has ever finished is third position, and with Nigel now up into fourth place, Piquet leading, Prost is in second place, in third position. Now going through, now thanks to the pit stops, Nigel Mansell that we are looking at is moved up yet another place. He's in third position. This is great news, and I need hardly say that all the British enthusiasts around Silverstone are absolutely looked in excitement. Mansell goes through, he blasts his way across the line.
Stop.
2 men on each wheel, one on the hose, and look how quickly those pneumatic hammers stop, and it's got an inbuilt jacking system at 12.26 seconds. There is Nigel Mansell, who is in 3rd position still. He has come up from 18th position on the grid to 3rd position on the track in his first race in the new Gerard Ducar Rouge designed John Player Special 94T with the Renault engine. And if ever anybody made a magnificent investment, Lotus made one in taking Gerard Ducar Rouge, the ex-Alfa Romeo and the ex-Ligier designer, on to produce a new car for them, because that is it. And there is Alain Prost. The question is, where on the track is Nelson Piquet? And you see that Nigel Mansell, joy of joys for British enthusiasts, is now in 2nd position. But, as James said earlier, that's a slightly false reading, because Nigel Mansell has yet to make a pit stop. But that takes nothing away from his superb performance, the highest he's ever been in a Grand Prix, and here he is, into the pits. Now you can see the lines of the new John Player Special 94T. Nigel Mansell at the wheel, the man from Hall Green who now lives at Port Erin in the Isle of Man, and he stops his car now. The Lotus team comparatively unused to this pressure system, because they originally started off with a gravity system, but it's not at all a bad stop. And away he goes, 13 seconds. But the real drama is that Nigel Mansell in the new John Player Special Renault, and there he is, 94T, designed by Gerard Ducar Rouge, its very first race. Nigel Mansell is in 4th place and some 19 seconds behind the 3rd place man Patrick Tambay, coming up to complete his 52nd lap in the 67 lap race, having driven, I think it is fair to say, the race of his life, because Mansell has suffered the most appalling frustrations in practice. They got his car right and he's certainly using it.
Yes, marvellous effort. He now, though, is going to need mechanical failure or problems to make up any further places, because he's not catching Tambay fast enough.
And Nigel Mansell is, albeit slowly, catching Nelson Piquet. The gap is down to 15.8 seconds to Patrick Tambay, I'm sorry. The gap between Tambay, who is 3rd, and Mansell, who is 4th, is down to under 16 seconds. And the gap between Tambay and Mansell is now down to 13.2 seconds. And it could well be that Tambay has been delayed a bit. Now, as they come out of the chicane, I will take the gap, because Mansell is closing much quicker than I expected him to. It was 18 seconds and then 16 seconds. Now you've seen on your screens that it's 13 seconds, and Mansell's going into and out of, and the gap is now down to 11 seconds. So if that is true, and it is true, I've just done it on my own watch, Nigel Mansell is gaining quite rapidly on Tambay, but he's on lap 59. It's a 67-lap race, and I don't think he can do it. I
don't think he can, but it is still within the bounds of distant possibility, and if Tambay gets delayed by any more back markers or anything like that, then Mansell has a chance. Of course, he's not only got to catch him to make it worth his while, he's got to pass him as well, and we've already seen how difficult that is, because the Ferrari, without a doubt, has the most power of all the turbos, which means of all the cars, so he's got to do it. But we'll keep rooting for it, because it's a really marvellous effort by Nigel Mansell, and he had such a frustrating and disappointing practice session, and he really deserves a bit of a break, and this is certainly an excellent race for him.
Tambay has just crossed the line in the background, and you will see in a few moments Nigel Mansell, who is coming into the chicane to take a superb 4th place, having come up from 18th place on the grid, something that he and Lotus and JPS and everybody associated with them can be very, very proud of.